All right, so RaDonda Vaught is a nurse at Vanderbilt who is on trial for reckless homicide and abuse of an adult, of an impaired adult. She made a medication error, a drug swap. She meant to administer the drug Versed, but actually administered vecuronium. She did an override in a drugs system where they dispense drugs, and she got out vecuronium instead, which is a paralytic. That drug was administered to the patient. The patient was unmonitored while getting an image, and the patient died. RaDonda, of course, created a huge error. It was a medical error, a drug swap error, where she didn't, obviously she did not look up the medication as she drew it up. She did not look at the medication as she was giving it, which is something I always do as an anesthesiologist every single time I give a medication. So she made a mistake. She made a medical error. So you know who else makes medical errors? Every single healthcare provider makes medical errors. It is cognitive errors are a part of healthcare system. It's run by human beings, and human beings make medical errors. That's all there is to it. However, in my opinion, she's not fully responsible for the patient's death. If you give a medication like Versed, which is a benzo, you should monitor those patients' vitals. If that patient was monitored appropriately, like the pulse ox, it would have alerted healthcare providers that her pulse ox would immediately go down after you give a paralytic. That would have been detected, and that patient would have been prevented from dying. So if that patient were being monitored, it wouldn't have happened. So she is not fully responsible for this patient's death. The fact that she's being charged with homicide, reckless homicide, and abuse of an impaired adult is absurd. It is absurd. She did not do those things. She committed a medical error that resulted in patient death. She did not commit homicide. This is absolutely ridiculous. I think, in my opinion, the whole thing should be thrown out right now. The entire system should be held responsible, not just one nurse, one unfortunate nurse who made one unfortunate error that any nurse could have made. She is not, I don't care what the verdict is. Right now, she is not guilty of those crimes. Medical errors are not crimes. They shouldn't be considered crimes. If she's convicted, guess what's going to happen? No one will ever know ever again if anything like this has happened, because healthcare workers will not speak out. She spoke out. She admitted that she made a mistake. That will never happen again. This is setting a dangerous, dangerous precedent. I'm totally against it.